Hi guys, and welcome back to my podcast. So when this is out, it will be my birthday, and it really only felt right to have a episode dropping as a testament to the girl I was this time last year, pre-Big A, okay? If I could see her right now, I'd give her a big old squeeze and I'd tell her everything is going to be okay, because she was absolutely frazzled. This time last year, I was pretty heartbroken. I was pretty lost. I was, for lack of a better word, genuinely floating, like spilling into everything and anything. I was absorbed with people's opinions because I could not even create my own. And I really lost sight with my instinctual truth. You know, that kind of gut feeling and that voice. I lost touch, and I've learned one or two things this last year that have really transformed me. They have helped me grow so many layers to my skin. I am like so much stronger and wiser than I ever have been. And moreover, I just love myself a lot more. Like, I am categorically obsessed with myself these days. And I don't think it's a bad thing to say that. I actually think more people should say that. But to actually say you really like who you're becoming, and you're really proud of who you've become, it's nothing you should shy away from. Of course, there's a fine line between cockiness and confidence, but I'm twinkling on the confident, and I think everyone should. And if you're not, that should be a goal to get you to that place, because it's a great feeling when you feel that towards yourself. I'm all for being your number one fan. So here are some of the things I've learned over the last year that I feel like have gotten me to this place in my life, because yes, me last year, wow, completely different girl. So let's get into it. Number one thing I learned over the last year is it's okay to ask people for help. This might not be something that resonates off the bat with a lot of people, but for me, this was always a huge issue. I still find and have found it extremely uncomfortable to ask people for help. From the smallest of things to the biggest of things, almost to the point where I rather give up and ask for a helping hand, which sounds terrible and is terrible. Feeling that I've struggled with pretty much all my life, and I think it probably stems from issues I've had with my dad growing up, the kind of feeling and need for validation or to prove myself, which I think isn't a rare feeling. I think a lot of us have felt that way. And obviously this is not a dig at my dad whatsoever. He's a great guy, and our relationship has taught me so much. And I think as you get older, you start to take a lot more responsibility for your part in your relationships, whether that's like the effort that you make, or the way that you react to things, right? So that relationship definitely has taught me a lot, but I definitely think my kind of feeling of like not feeling safe asking for help definitely stemmed from childhood shit. Is normal. A lot of us have that. This time last year, I quit my job because I was somewhat sold a airy fairy dream. Fast forward a month after May, this dream was short-lived. Absolutely mortified. And not only that, I had felt like I, was kind of working my way from the bottom for the last 4 years, worked my way up to a really good salary. And then I was left with nothing, nada, no savings, nothing. And I was just like, what do I do? Where the hell do I stand? I sold a little bit of jewelry at the time, but even that didn't cut it. And then, I had to pick up the phone. I had to call my mom and tell her what had happened. And obviously my mom, being the amazing mother that she is, helped me and helped pick me up through the dirt, and then that was kind of a pill to swallow. I had to suck up my pride and ask for help. And then from there, I was kind of asking everyone around me, do you need help with TikTok? I'm pretty good with TikTok. I can help you. I can make you a couple of videos per week. I charge this amount. And then now I have an incredible management. But at the time, I did not know how to negotiate anything with brands, but I was still just like outreaching. And my point being is, you can't do it alone. Sometimes you really need to ask for help. And like the importance of having a great team back you is just so undervalued. And even like a couple months ago with Hills, which is Iman's new eyewear company, I'm the creative director, but a couple months ago, I called the COO up and I said to her, I was like, I don't think I can do this. Like, I don't think I'm good enough. I don't think I can do this. I think I need to quit. I don't know what to do. And I was like desperate. I was so down bad and I was so mortified again. And she sat with me with so much patience and gracefulness. And she gave me all these options to help me. And fast forward all these months, I'm so thankful I stuck through. And I'm so thankful to her for calming me down and helping me. And it's just been a huge lesson. Like, it's not embarrassing to ask people for help. You're not weak to ask people for help. People will help you just to help you. And it's not so much of a give and take thing. It's just, I've always had this like impending feeling of like, if someone helps me, then I owe them. And I hate that feeling of having to owe someone something. It's all in here. But yeah, over the last year, I've just really learned like I need help sometimes, and you can't figure out everything by yourself. And, you know, you need your people on your side helping you through. You really, really do. So that was a huge lesson over the last year. And I feel like I've started to give myself a bit more grace when I do need the help, and I can admit to myself like, okay, I can't do this alone. I really need help. 2, rumination breeds depression. This is the pathological obsessing over your pain, over things that have gone left, over the past, over what's happened, and it will rob you of your present self. Also rob you of anything good that's happening around you. I experienced heartbreak in so many ways last year. Many things from May onwards just kept happening. Like, it was just one thing to the next, to the next, to the next. It just like brutally shocked me to my core. And I think I was stuck in a place of like, what the fuck is happening? What the fuck is happening? What the fuck is happening? That I stayed in that what the fuck is happening for a little too long. Constant replaying, really, like, I really robbed myself of my own happiness and my own growth for a period of time. And then I also was just distracting myself so much, like going from the next thing to the next thing to this venture, like just not being able to sit still until I woke up a couple months after Riva passed. And I just like looked at myself and I said, like, I can stop this if I want. Like, I can stop this if I want. Like, this doesn't have to be my reality. Like, I can actually give myself peace if I can just stop the ruminating over all the things that haven't turned out the way I was planning on them turning out, you know? I really learned to just make friends with it. And now I look back at last year and I was like, wow, that was the most transformational year I've ever had in my life. And it was so hard and painful, but it was actually so beautiful, so magical. And look at me now, you know? But thank God I stopped that. And I had that little break of like, wake the hell up, Amara, and stop like torturing yourself and move on. Just let it go. Like, actually let it go. Yeah, rumination really causes people to stay stuck. And if there's anything that's like really shitty, it's that feeling of like stagnation and just being stagnant, you know, just stuck and you can't break free. And I think rumination holds you in that dark place. You know, like the more you think about your problems, the more your problems grow. The more you think about your pain, the more your pain grows. It's literally quick maths. Number 3, trying too hard. Trying too hard is never cute. Big realization is everything around us these days promotes something better, okay? Like, and it's ironic because this podcast is actually under the self-help title, but everything is kind of promoting self-help or a better this or improving that or like on to the next thing. The grass is greener there, blah, 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 blah. I think the more we're trying to improve ourselves all the time and like kind of fixated on growth, the more, I'm not going to speak for everyone, but I've definitely felt this way, the more I kind of affirm to myself that I'm in lack of, if that makes sense. Period where I was like, I'm going to improve everything. I need to do X, Y, Z. And if I don't, like, I'm a failure and blah, 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 blah. Work out six times a week. I'm not even going to breathe in the same room as a potato. Like, all this pressure and stress on myself. And sometimes you're just not that person, you know? And I think like, I'm just not that person in this season of my life. Who knows? In 5 years' time, I might be. It's kind of the same with, You know, there was a period of time that I felt really lame, that I never wanted to go out, and all my friends were kind of going out and doing this, and I just didn't want to. And then I went on an absolute bender for months, and I withstood all my friends. I was the last one on the dance floor, and it just made me realize, like, we all have that in us. It's just seasons of life, right? But trying too hard to kind of like be that person when you're not at that frame of your life is just never cute. So just drop it, you know, just like literally, it's the most cliche saying, but being who you are, like who you are in your core, will always be such a power move for your own sake. So much freedom that just comes with like accepting your flaws and like not loving yourself despite your flaws, but because of your flaws. Not everything has to be in check all the time. Like, even take females, right? I'll speak for myself. The hormones are crazy. You know, one day I'll have the perkiest tits, my skin will be glowing, and I'll be hornier and sexier than ever. Next day, I'm like 5 kilos heavier with water retention, pimples all over my forehead, and the grease that's pouring out of my pores, I could fill a whole Evian 1.5 liter bottle with. Just to paint the picture, you know? It's like, you know, everything's changing from day to day. So you actually just can't be too hard on yourself, and you can't try too hard. Just enjoy and be, and like go on the date, even if you have a pimple, go to that party, even if you feel a bit bloated, like go for that job interview, even if you're not really that prepared, just go for it and don't try too hard. And I feel like I've really just allowed myself to just be me and not try to be anything but. Lastly, number 4, your character will always stand true. From May last year, right, I kind of had a couple of situationships just back to back. They just kept coming. Honestly, at that point in time, like, I felt like I can't commit to anyone. I can't commit to anyone. Like, the thought of having a boyfriend was terrifying to me. And it was such a weird feeling because I've always been such a romantic and like such a lover girl and so in love with love. All these things happened and it left me feeling so cold inside and emotionless, and I was like, who am I? Like, I was almost scared of myself. That's how little I gave a fuck about so many things. And I was like, this isn't me. This really isn't me. Fast forward, okay, like January, February, March, there was this guy, and he kind of unlocked the lover girl back in me. Even though it didn't work out between him and I, it's like he's left me with this little gem, which is my love for love again. I don't know how to explain it, but like, having that kind of feeling of like what a healthy love can be and like a good partnership kind of just reminded me of like how excited I am to have my guy, you know what I mean? And to just like enjoy the beautiful thing of like having a companion and a partner. I feel like I was locked away for so long because of how much pain I felt. But this guy just like, I don't know, gave me the lover girl back again. And yes, again, he was not the right guy. And even though that kind of like hurt in the moment, I look back and I'm just like, oh my God, like he really did leave me that gem, because I feel like I got my spark back. Like I feel like I got my sense for love back, and that's my true character. Like I'm not a cold person. Some people are naturally like that. Like I'm just not. And I feel like I just feel better. Even though that situation did not go the way I wanted it to go, I feel so much better because I feel like I'm more true to my character now, if that makes sense. Even small things like so many times I could have cussed a person out with the kind of weird situations I ended up in over the last year. But I know in myself that I will always regret it down the line if I were to cuss a person out, you know? And some people are like, just like, be a bit more angry, and I'm just like, that's just not me. I don't think it is, you know? I feel so much happier remaining calm and like graceful and kind, because I don't think that's weak. I actually think it's even stronger to remain kind, graceful, and calm, even when the biggest metaphorical cock has slapped you across the face. And you're still kind, and you're still calm, and you're still graceful. It's almost a little kooky, but I don't think that's a weak thing. I think it's a power move, and I just think that is me being true to my character. Some people may think it's weak, but I'm just happier being happy and spreading love. Character will always stand true. You might stray away from it from time to time, but you will always find your way back home. Dun, 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 dun. You know that song? Hannah Montana? I love that song. On that note, here's to 25. I'm ready to welcome more love, more life, and of course, more lessons. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you so much for your support. The cutest comments, the messages, the DMs, meeting some of you in real life. Wow, it makes my day every single time. And I wouldn't be able to do this without any of you guys. You guys keep me going. So I pray and hope you can feel my love, because you guys give me so much love. I just want to give it back. Thank you guys so much for watching.